All right, I'm going to go over the last problem that we did today in class with the personal expenses with the linear regression. Just for some of you guys maybe who are absent, or maybe we didn't get to the full thing, so then you have something to go off of with your homework and something to refer to if needed. If you don't want to watch this, you do not have to. All right, so it says for many people, the cost of contact lenses is a discretionary expense. Jamil buys contact lenses through an online retailer. He has found that the type he needs is sold 6 lenses to a box. The retailer has a sliding price based on the number of boxes purchased and the price per contact. Okay, the data is below. So we have to analyze this data and see what kind of trend that we have. So if you notice, the first question that I would expect you to be able to answer is find the linear regression equation. Round the slope and the y-intercept to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so let's go over to our calculators. Okay, you open up your calculator, okay, and go to your stat button and go to edit. Okay, this is where we put in all of our data. Okay, so you want to start by breaking up your coordinate pairs and putting your x values in list 1, your y value into list 2. Okay, so now we're analyzing 2 different things. So analyzing the lenses, okay, the number of contact lenses, and then the price of those lenses. Okay, once you have your data in, okay, if you have to pause the video at any time, feel free. Okay, once you have the data in, like we did in class today, we need to make sure that our scatter plot is on. So to make sure your scatter plot is on, you hit second, y equals. Okay, your other ones should be off. If they are not, click on them and go to off. All right, this one is on, but let's make sure that the rest of our stuff is on. So if I hit enter, okay, if yours right now is hovered over at off, okay, we need to go over to on and actually hit enter. Okay, it blinking is not sufficient enough. Go down, you got your scatter plot, you got your L1. If it does not say L1, hit second one. As you can see in blue there, it's L1. Go down to your Y list. If it does not say L2, because we put it in our second list, you need to do second 2. If you put it in list 3, you do second 3, and so forth. Okay, so now that we have our settings, let's go ahead and hit graph. If you do not see this, maybe your zoom is a little bit different, so hit zoom and go to zoom stat. Okay, we are in our stat list, so we're going to go zoom 9, which is zoom stat, and now you should see this. So when we talk about a correlation, okay, correlation, its direction, we read from left to right. So it can either be positive or negative. So as we talked about in class today, this would be a negative correlation. From left to right, the data is going down. Okay, as the x values are increasing, the y values are decreasing. Okay, another thing that we talk about with correlation is the strength. So you have weak, moderate, strong, or you might even have no correlation. No correlation is when your points are scattered and everywhere. You can't make a relationship. So this example would be considered a negative strong relationship or a strong negative relationship. Okay, so now that we got our scatter plot, it says find the linear regression equation. So we actually have to find our equation. Linear meaning y equals mx plus b. So let's go back to your stat button. Let's go over to calc, okay, and go down to number 4. You can use number 8, same thing. Make sure it has list 1 and list 2. If it does not, you're going to do the same thing like we just did, and you're going to do second 2 for L2, or second 1 for L1. You don't need anything for your frequency list. Don't need anything for your storing. We're not storing it just yet. And go down to calculate. Okay, you may not have the R or the R squared yet. If you have the R, you can see right there that it's a negative correlation because there's a negative number, and it's a 0.99. So that would be considered, and I rounded, that would be considered a strong relationship. If you don't have the R yet, hey, don't worry. We will be working on that in class, and we'll set that tomorrow on your calculators. All right, so if you take a look here, we have negative 0.19 x, because we substitute a in, plus 6.36. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my notes here. Okay, okay. All right, part B. wants us to know what is the slope of the linear regression. Remember, slope is always the first number, so that is the number that is being multiplied to your x. So m equals negative 0.19. What are the units of the slope when it is expressed as a rate? So now it's asking for the units. So remember, slope is always written as negative 0.19 over 1. It's always written as a fraction. Okay, to make an integer as a fraction, put it over 1. So now it is always y over x. Okay, our y value is our price, right? And our x value is our contact lens. Oop, an extra n in there. So when it wants to know what are the units of the slope when it is expressed as a rate, right, is the price per contact lens. Right, or the contact lens and its price for that. So its price is our y value, contact lens, the number of our contact lens is the x value. So recognizing that. So in this one example, if we wanted to dive into the numbers, it would be for that one contact lens, okay, the price decreases, okay, or that price is a negative 19 cents. All right. So based on the linear regression equation, part D, what would be the price per lens if he bought 22 boxes? Okay, so now we already have ours. So our equation is already negative 0.19, but 22 boxes. Okay, so there's your boxes, which are your contact lenses. Okay, so 22, just put in for x, because we know that's our x value. Okay, then plus 6.36. All right, and you'll get your answer from there. Okay, and E is our answer to part D, an interpolation or an extrapolation. Okay. Okay, we're going to rewind that. So in part E is our answer to part D, an interpolation or an extrapolation. Okay, I can't remember what I said, but that is an extrapolation. Okay, so talking about what that is, if you look at part D, we're going to focus on 22. Okay, so the number 22 here, is that within our domain of contact lenses? No. Sorry. Okay. So now if we look at all of our x values, okay, it goes 20, 24, 22 falls within 50. That falls outside of the 24 range. So it has to be within the domain, within the x values. Okay, so this would be an interpolation. Okay, so this interpolation, okay, because 22, okay, boxes of contact lenses falls within the domain. Okay, generally we don't like to predict data outside of the domain because things can change. So now part F says find the correlation coefficient to the nearest hundredth. So correlation coefficient is that R value, okay, that I was talking about. So if we go back to your calculator, if you already have the R value, you already know what yours is. It's the R equals negative 0.98. If you don't have that yet, you need to go to second, down to 0 at catalog. Okay, we have to go to something called diagnostic on. So to kind of skip and get there quickly, if you hit alpha and then you hit this D button, okay, it's the third one down from alpha. Eventually, I promise it will take me there. Okay, so alpha, indeed, there we go. So now, if I just scroll down, I need to find diagnostic on. Okay, hit enter. It will say diagnostic on, hit enter one more time. You only have to do that once unless you reset your calculator. Okay, if you already had it, you could have skipped that part. Okay, so if I go back to stat, over to calc, go down to linear regression, hit enter, L1 and L2 just like we did, so nothing changes, just that we turned on that new feature. Okay, so we get negative 0.989, which I'm going to put as negative 0.99. I generally round to 2 decimal places to that hundredth. So negative point correlation, well, we described it earlier.